Hello everyone and happy Christmas Eve to all who celebrate. And for those who don't, well, happy holidays. I hope your holidays are all amazing. And more importantly, I hope I can make them a little bit better with this video. As for today, we're going to be taking a look at every single Easter egg and secret in the 3D Mario games. I know this is a bigger video, but I'll have chapters in this video so you can skip around to whichever game you want to. Oh, and hey, if you guys don't mind, can you hit the subscribe button? Less than 95% of my viewers are subscribed. It would really be an awesome Christmas gift for me as well. Thank you all so much, and I hope you all enjoy the video. Before showing off the first Easter egg, I do want to explain a few version differences. For those of you who don't know, the Super Mario 3D All-Star version of the game was actually a Japan exclusive version of Super Mario 64 called the Shindu version. This version added rumble support and a new Easter egg to the game. At the start screen, if you press the shoulder buttons, it will fill the screen with more Mario faces. Before defeating King Bob-omb, there are only 2 balls in the pit down below, but after defeating him, there will now be a third one, and even one of the pink Bob-omb confirms this by thanking you and saying that King Bob-omb is now just a dud. In Cool Cool Mountain, the baby penguin will actually mimic Mario when he does a dive. After collecting all 120 stars, the big penguin from the slide will be even bigger and mentions how he hasn't been hitting the slopes lately. You don't get anything for beating him again, just bragging rights, I guess. And here's what he normally looks like. Everybody already knows about the L is real statue in the courtyard and how it hints about Luigi being a playable character. But did you know that in 2020, we actually found the source code of Luigi's official model? Tetrabit Gaming did a really great video going over the details. Here's a few clips from that video, and a link to that video will also be down below in the description. I highly suggest you guys check it out if you're interested in this.
L is real 2401. On July 25th, 2020, another leak had been dropped on the internet, and among a plethora of other awesome information, our boy Luigi had finally been found. And then, in a matter of hours, Luigi's model was found, and modders were already trying to mod Luigi into the game. And before we all knew it, the full model was reconstructed, and there he is. Luigi is finally legitimately brought back into Super Mario 64. The craziest thing out of all of this is that, as many have pointed out, this leak had happened exactly 24 years and 1 month since the original release of Super Mario 64 in Japan. 2401. Coincidence? Probably.
Did you know that the skybox in Wet Dry World is a real world location in Spain? When jumping in water, there is a very rare chance that a fish will also jump out of the water with Mario. Some people have even gotten 2 fish to jump out at once. The next one is a neat one. It may be a bit of a stretch, but this image might be a reference to The Legend of Zelda's Song of Storms. The only issue is that Super Mario 64 came out 2 years before Ocarina of Time. But at the same time, they were working on these games at the same time. So, I mean, who knows? The same image is that texture that is used into the next room. However, this was changed in the Nintendo DS version of Super Mario 64. The painting next to the stairs is just a blue one, and the starry painting no longer has the stars in the same pattern as Song of Storms. So I'll kinda let you guys decide if this is really an Easter egg or a reference or not. When going through the final level, Bowser in the Sky, you can see Goombas and Koopa shells on some of the walls. Also, right before you get to the final fight with Bowser, you can see an 8-bit version of Mario fighting Bowser on some of the pillars. In the North American version of the game, when Mario throws Bowser, he says, "So long, King Bowser." Which kinda sounds like "So long, gay Bowser." but in the Japan and the Switch version of the game, he would just say bye-bye. This is because Bowser is not his real name in Japan. His real name in Japan is King Koopa. During the final fight, after throwing Bowser a few times, he starts to stomp and jump on the stage, breaking it into the shape of a star, the main collectible of the game. After defeating Bowser, his voice lines change a little bit depending on how many stars you have and what version of the game you're playing on. If you're playing on the Switch version of the game and you beat him with all 120 stars, he will mention how you have collected all 120 stars and say that there were even a few stars hidden that he didn't know about, aka the castle secret stars. He then follows up with saying, "Just you wait until next time, keep that L stick smoking." In the original North American version of the game, Bowser just said to keep the control stick smoking, as the original Nintendo 64 controller did not have 2 analog sticks. However, if you don't have all 120 stars, he will say, it's not over yet. Come on, troops, let's watch the ending together. And speaking of the ending of the game, did you know that in the original version of the game, if you plug in a second controller and move the analog stick around, you can actually move the camera angle during the credits. This was sadly removed in the Switch version. One of the most well-known secrets and Easter eggs of this game is after beating the game, you can now access the cannon outside, shoot yourself up to the top of the castle, and find Yoshi, who will grant you 100 lives. And lastly, your triple jump now has sparkles! Oh man, okay, so we're done with the Easter egg and references for now, but don't go anywhere guys, as I still have much more to show you. So a viewer of my last video actually pointed this out to me, and I had never known about this. But apparently, when you stand on top of the castle, in the back right corner, if you drop down and pull yourself back up, Mario will lose his hat and instantly die. It's super weird and pretty cool, as I've been playing this game my entire life and I just learned about this a few months ago. If you walk right up to the Cool Mountain painting and look to the left, you can see an out of bounds object. I assume this is part of the floor that you fall into for Bowser in the Dark World. But it's still pretty neat to see this here, as I have never known about this. Speaking of objects that are out of bounds, there's actually 2 coins that you cannot collect. One being in Snowman's Land, right under this ramp, and the other is in Tiny Huge Island, right next to the green pipe. Have you ever noticed during a boss fight or when there's a lot of stuff going on screen that Mario's model actually changes? People call this the low poly Mario. This was used to help the game run smoother on the original Nintendo 64 hardware. I'm not exactly sure why they needed him in the Switch version, but I guess it was a neat thing to include. If you have never seen this as well, I'm sorry to tell you, but you can now never unsee this and will always notice it. Now, onto some secrets you may have not known about. This first one may be a bit obvious, but as a kid, these wooden poles were always such a mystery to me. I never knew what their purpose was, and when you ground pounded all of them, nothing would happen. But it turns out if you run around them, they'll shoot out a few coins. This can be really helpful when you're getting the 100 coin stars. You won't get any coins if you ground pound them at all though. In Whomp's Fortress, if you jump on the owl and do a bit of sightseeing, The owl will eventually get tired, make a comment about Mario's weight, and tell him that he needs to lay off of the pasta, and drops him. He doesn't even care if Mario's off the stage and he's going to die. He's tired of carrying Mario's fat ass. And in the original Japanese version of Super Mario 64, Jolly Roger Bay had a painting depicting bubbles. In the North American version of the game, it was changed to a sunken ship. Then in Mario 64 for the DS, it brought back the bubble painting and even added it to the upstairs hallways. But then in Super Mario 3D All-Stars, they used the sunken ship painting again. I have no idea why they changed this painting so much, but it's definitely interesting. If you don't touch the game for a bit, Mario will fall asleep and start talking about food.
Spaghetti. Ravioli. Mamma mia.
Me too, Mario. Me too. A lot of people wonder what this painting is in the upstairs hallway. All the other paintings are of levels, but what about this one? Well, this is actually the wing cap painting. This was actually changed in the DS version of the game. It's now a starry painting for some reason. Did you know that you can climb under the bridge in Bomb Battlefield? I'm not really sure why, but okay. If you punch butterflies, they will either give you a 1-up or blow you up. It may be best to just not punch them and respect nature. The next two are a bit obvious, but if you jump into wet dry world painting at different heights, it will change the water level. A very similar thing happens in Tick Tock Clock. Jumping into the painting when the big hand is on 12, 3, 6, and 9 will result in objects moving at different speeds. In Tiny Huge Island, when you're tiny, you can jump on the Goombas and get 1 coin, or you can ground pound them to get a blue coin that is worth 5 coins. This is very helpful to know when going for the 100 coin star here. I'm not going to be adding in the Impossible Goomba, the Invisible Pirate Ship in Jolly Roger Bay, and other secrets like this simply because you need to hack the game in order to see these. They're all still really cool though, and I recommend you all to search them on YouTube and see what they're all about. Did you know that Boo's laugh is just Bowser's laugh sped up with a higher pitch? After beating the game, you get this end screen. Some people claim to see a face right behind the star. Some say it looks like Yoshi, others say it looks like Mario, but what do you guys think? Do you guys see anything? Let me know down below in the comments. And now I'll be showing you all of the secret warp locations in the game. If you guys are enjoying this video so far, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button to stay updated with my future videos, as I plan to do more Mario 64 and Zelda content in the near future. If I happen to miss one, please just let me know. I won't have much commentary as there's not a whole lot to talk about, so I'll just let the video do all the talking.
When filming this specific warp point, a Bomb just ran off and killed himself. I thought it was pretty interesting, but did anyone else catch that? And now lastly, I'll be showing you all of the secret 1-ups in the game. I'm sure I missed a few of these as these are really well hidden. So again, please let me know if I missed any.
To start things off, Mario's new tropical adventure starts us in Isle Delfino, which translates from Italian to English, and it translates saying Dolphin Island. Dolphin was the codename for the Nintendo GameCube during development. But that's definitely not the only reference we have to the GameCube's codename. There are multiple statues and images of a dolphin. Heck, even the whole island is in the shape of a dolphin. I'll leave it up to you guys to try and find all of the dolphin references in this game. Let me know how many you guys found in the comments. During the very first piranha plant fight of the game, if you pan the camera around, you'll notice the shape of the graffiti is in the shape of Mario's face. During a brief moment in this cutscene, Peach's earrings would actually change to the same texture as her eyeballs. When you start your adventure, you meet your companion for the game, Flood, who was developed by Dr. E. Gadd, the same doctor who we met in Luigi's Mansion. When Flood analyzes Mario, you can see a few clips from the previous Mario games in the bottom left corner. And on the other side of the screen, you can see some names of Mario's past games. They're just reversed. A little bit of a spoiler alert, but when Flood breaks at the end of the game, he shows off a few game over screens from the previous Mario games. Piantissimo is actually the running man from Ocarina of Time, or at least he has a similar face to him. If you run around the underground pipes in Delfino Plaza, you may have noticed that there is an area that seems like you can't get to it there at all, but there is actually a secret entrance to get here. Before you get access to Rico Harbor, if you look above the giant piranha plant, you can see a leftover button that you can ground pound once you get the rocket nozzle. I guess they just kind of got lazy and forgot to hide this one. In Delfino Plaza, there is an out-of-bounds nozzle near the bell tower. You can use glitches to actually obtain this nozzle, but aside from that, there is no other way to get it. When collecting this secret star, there is a Pianta that says that he has been chasing this red bird for 38 years. I'm not exactly sure if this is some sort of reference. Maybe you guys might know. If so, let me know down below in the comments. He also has a weird voice line that is not heard anywhere else in the game. Entering Noki Bay itself is a reference to Super Mario 64, where you had to look up into the sky to enter the wing cap level. Serena Beach is a really interesting level because it has so many Easter eggs and references. The first being the hotel's courtyard is in the shape of a GameCube controller. The little huts are where the C-stick and the D-pad are, and on the right hand side there's little pools of water in the shape of A, B, X, and Y buttons. There's a fountain where the star button is, the left side is where the control stick is, and right in the top middle is where the cord would come out. During the first episode, The Manta Storm, the island is attacked by the shadowy manta ray. Some people say that this could be a reference to the horror novel The Shining by Stephen King, which mentions a strange shadow-like form which assumed the shape of a huge obscene manta, and then the wind seemed to catch it, to tear it and shred it like old dark paper. The two both
share a thin, mantle-like form and vanish into thin air after being divided. During the secret levels of Serena Beach, you can clearly spot some Pixel Marios. Another thing I wanted to add to this is during a lot of the secret levels throughout the game, there are a lot of references to past Mario games and even Yoshi Island games, so I'll leave it up to you guys to spot all of them. There is a picture in the hotel. The Pianta next to it even makes a comment about it and how it's kind of weird. She also calls you out for sneaking into her room. Maybe you shouldn't be doing that, Mario. When you spray this painting, it reveals an image of a boo, and then after that, it lets you jump through it. This is a reference to Super Mario 64 and how you would jump into paintings for the levels. And lastly, one of the Piantas in the ceiling is complaining about all the ghosts and wishes someone would just come and suck them up with a vacuum. I bet I know a plumber that can get that job done. The little seashell guys around Pianta Park play melodies from previous Mario games. If you use a glitch to get out of bounds in Pianta Park, you can see an unused Goomba under the stage. During episode 3 in Noki Bay, at the bottom of the bottle, there is a little labyrinth object. If you pan the camera around this door, you can see a scrapped book. We don't really know why it was scrapped, but there's a ton of theories out there. At first, this Pianta is stranded on an island. And then after you beat the game, he comes back to the mainland. But he complains about how he wants to go back to his island. And lastly, did you guys know that you can actually return to the airstrip? I had no idea for the longest time, but yeah, you just talk to this guy with the boat, and he'll bring you back to the airstrip where you can collect a bunch of coins and a secret star.
The only unfortunate thing about this port is that they don't use the original box art for Super Mario Galaxy, which holds a neat little secret. This is a bit of an obvious one, but if you look at every letter that has a sparkle on it, you get U-R-M-R-G-A-Y, or you are Mr. Gay. Some people interpret this as saying or meaning you are Mr. Happy, as gay can also mean happy. The Octo Goombas are one of the very first new enemies you run into in Super Mario Galaxy, and they have a striking resemblance to the Octoroks from the Zelda series. And King Cataline, I don't really know how to pronounce his name, that's the best I could do, one of the first bosses in the game, has even more of a resemblance to the Octoroks. Good Egg Galaxy has a Yoshi egg as a planet. Unfortunately, Yoshi was not in this game. However, it's a neat little nod to him. It's almost like they're telling the player, hey, we didn't forget about Yoshi. You can also have his head as the save file icon. In Flip Switch Galaxy, the background has images from the original Super Mario Bros. Game on the NES. In Space Junk Galaxy, there's a rocket that looks strikingly similar to the one from the Pikmin franchise. Maybe Olimar or Alf ran out of rocket fuel and got stuck in this galaxy. And before we leave Space Junk Galaxy, you can feed this Luma to create a planet that is in the shape of Yoshi's head. Whenever you race Shadow Mario, if you press Z and A just before the countdown ends, you will get a head start. You will know you get this head start as Mario will start to flash a different color. A lot of the little musical notes that usually reward you with 1-ups typically have remixed tunes from previous Mario games. This is the case with both Mario Galaxy games and even future games like 3D World. In Toy Time Galaxy, there is a hidden train under some blocks. You can only view this by going into a first-person view. And a little bit more of an obvious one, there's Pixel Mario's in the background of Toy Time Galaxy, which ends up being its entire level. And on the backside, there's even a Pixel Luigi. In Rolling Gizmo Galaxy, there is a section where if you look down below the stage, you can see some star bits that are in the shape of a Zelda rupee. In Buyo Base Galaxy, there is a planet that looks very similar to a Pokeball. Ghostly Galaxy has a level called Luigi and the Haunted Mansion, an obvious reference to Luigi's Mansion. If you collect 9,999 star bits, all coconuts will turn into watermelons. I'm not really sure why, but it's definitely a weird change. Did you know that you can reach galaxies without a launch star? You just need to use the Flying Mario power-up to reach them in the hub world, but I think this is only available in the Nintendo Wii version of the game. Bowser Jr.'s Airship Armada has a hidden planet in it. All you have to do is get to the first cannon and look to your right. Gold Leaf is the first galaxy, but it's mirrored. However, that's not the reason why we are here. The reason we are here is that there are Cataquacks here, an enemy from Super Mario Sunshine. The concept of climbing on top and moving on a large being was originally intended to be used as the final fight as Ganon in The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, but this was scrapped due to the fact that one would be unable to see Ganon himself while atop of him. However, this was later reused in Super Mario Galaxy, much to the excitement of the development team. Many of the minigame galaxies have remixed music from previous Mario games. Here are just a couple. And here are all the hidden 1-ups in the Comet Observatory. After collecting all 120 stars, you will get a different ending. You can also unlock the ability to play as Luigi, but there's still a few more things. After collecting the last Power Star, back at Peach's castle you will get a letter in the Wii system board with a cute little postcards. However, this has been removed in the Mario 3D All-Stars remake of the game, as the Nintendo Switch doesn't have any type of message boards. That's about everything I could find in Super Mario Galaxy 1. What about the long forgotten Super Mario Galaxy 2? Man, Nintendo really did this game dirty by leaving it out of the 3D All-Stars remake. But hey, at least we get to look at the box art on this version, and yeah, there's another hidden secret here. It's actually a response to Super Mario Galaxy's 1 box art secret: you are Mr. Gay. If you look at every other letter that has a sparkle in it and then reverse it, it will spell out, yeah, I am, are you? It's super neat that they did this. It's really hard to tell if this was done intentionally or maybe someone just snuck it in. Nah, I don't think so. I really think this was intentional. What about you guys? What do you think? The supermassive galaxy may be a reference to the giant land from Super Mario Bros. 3. Pixel Mario from Super Mario Galaxy 1 makes a return as a stage. Throwback Galaxy is a complete recreation of Thwomp's Fortress from Super Mario 64. King Thwomp actually makes a return with similar dialogue to the original fight in Super Mario 64. And he actually tells us how he's so tired of giving the same speech over and over again. And after beating him, he mentions how Mario wins yet again. Tall Trunk Galaxy's music is Peach's slide from Super Mario 64's, it's just remixed a little bit. We got any Sunshine fans here? Well, if so, this might look a bit familiar. Twisty Trials Galaxy is a remake of the Secrets level from Super Mario Sunshine. It also has some Mario pixels in the background. Sunshine fans, are you still with me? Good, because we're not done yet. In the Starshine Beach Galaxy, the Piñatas make a return. Yoshi's house from Super Mario World has now been remade in Galaxy 2. Wow, they really wanted to remake a lot of older Mario locations and characters in this game, huh? But that's not all. Here's one that I never knew about. If you read the sign, it says please go around back Yoshi. However, if you quit the level and select the third Power Star, Pee-wee Piranha's Speed Run, and you read the sign again, it will now read please go around back Yoshi the Space Dragon. Wait, what the heck? Since when was Yoshi a space dragon? I thought he was a dinosaur. In Boulder Bowl Galaxy, there is a little robot guy who will hold up a Goomba above his head, the same way that Link from the Legend of Zelda games does whenever he gets a new item. If you collect 7,777 star bits and you talk to the Luma captain, he will make a few comments on how you have collected such a lucky number of star bits. Now, this is the one most of you have been waiting for, or maybe we have some new faces who have never heard of this before. But in Shiverburn Galaxy, if you look up to the right, you can see the famous Shiverburn aliens. There's a whole lot of mysteries and conspiracy theories out there about these guys, as their texture file names them as Hell Valley Sky Trees. I don't know about you guys, but these don't look anything like trees. Why don't you guys leave a comment down below of what you guys think that they actually are? At the end of Bowser's Galaxy Generator, there is a flagpole that Mario has to climb up, unfortunately leaving Yoshi behind. However, Yoshi doesn't seem to be too upset as he waves goodbye at you, almost as if he's wishing you good luck with the final fight. If you flutter too high with Yoshi in the end credits, you can actually lose a life. And again, if you collect all 120 power stars in this game, you will get another secret ending. And now the green comments will appear as new challenges. And after completing all of them and the Grandmaster Galaxy, you will again be rewarded with a letter and a postcard in the Wii message board. Starting off with one of the very first worlds, the prehistoric world, you can find many different pixel characters scattered throughout the walls, many of which are older 8-bit versions of past enemies, and some of which are Mario and his crew of friends. But that's not all, as on the moon later on in the game, there is a hidden pixel Rosalina, kind of fitting seeing as how she's from space. While we're here, the regional coins look like they're star bits from Super Mario Galaxy. Oh, and hey, if you guys don't mind, if you find these kind of videos interesting, can you hit the subscribe button? 95% of the people who watch my content are not subscribed to me. So, if you enjoy my content, why not just hit the subscribe button? It really helps me out. Well, with that being said, let's get right back to the secrets and Easter eggs. Have you ever noticed that Toad is actually holding a map of Bomb-On Battlefield? Over in the Sand Kingdom, there are these little golem-looking guys that you can take control of to see hidden paths. However, if you listen closely, you can hear them hum some tunes from previous Mario games. Next, we're going to head over to one of the most popular worlds in the game, the Metro Kingdom. This level is filled with a ton of secrets, Easter eggs, and references. So much that I'll probably forget or even miss some of them. If I do happen to miss any, please leave a comment down below, and maybe I'll do an updated version of this video later on in the future. Let's get some of the most obvious ones out of the way first. Many of the posters and signs are references or ripped directly from the old arcade version of Donkey Kong. Many of the streets and buildings are references or direct names of Donkey Kong characters. In the New Donk Theater, you can find theme. Many people know this, but Pauline is actually the girl you save from the original Donkey Kong game. This is technically her very first appearance in a mainline Mario game. People mistaked her for Peach, but nope, Peach's first appearance was in the original Super Mario Bros., not Donkey Kong. And then there is the obvious boss fight that is a remake from the original Donkey Kong game. And here are a few more Easter eggs that people may not know about in New Donk City. The taxi's license plates features Donkey Kong's release year, 1981, and ND stands for New Donk. Also, these license plates are generally how New York City's taxi's license plates are also colored. There is a radio that will play a remixed version of the Super Mario World Overworld theme. And if you hit it again, it'll play the Japanese version of Jump Up Superstar. Right at the start of the level, there's a jump rope minigame, where one of the people will say, "Jump, man," a reference to Mario's original name, Jumpman. During the New Donk Festival, you can find more pixel characters amongst the people in the crowd. During the race car minigame, a remixed version of Super Mario Kart's music plays. Speaking of minigames, have you noticed the little icon on the left-hand side is actually different Game & Watch poses? Phew, okay, I think that's all from Metro Kingdom. Again, if I happen to miss any, leave a comment down below. In the Luncheon Kingdom, you can find throwable turnips, a reference to throwable turnips from Mario 2. In the Lost Kingdom, you can jump off the side of the map, and you won't die. Instead, you'll land in the deep woods, where here we will follow the stream, and at one point you can find some uncollectible coins in the water. Strangely enough, it's the same amount of coins that you lose when you die. Could this be hinting at the fact that somebody died here? After beating the game in Bowser's Kingdom, you can find Princess Peach hanging out near the shop. If you take a look at her outfit, you can notice that she has a Boo mask and a blooper on the back of her fan. We will be jumping into a little bit of spoiler territory, so if you haven't already beat the game, I would jump ahead to the next chapter in the video. When Mario captures Bowser, you can see memories of their past battles. In Super Mario Odyssey, the bunny's death is actually similar to Bowser's death in Super Mario 3D World. Next up, we're going to the Mushroom Kingdom, yet another world that is completely filled with secrets, Easter eggs, and references. This whole world is an obvious reference to Super Mario 64. Again, I'll run through some of the more obvious secrets and Easter eggs. However, again, if I happen to miss any, leave a comment down below. Starting off, Yoshi's house from Super Mario World has been recreated here. You can find and buy a Mario 64 costume here that gives you Mario his original 3D look back. You can jump through paintings just like in Super Mario 64 to revisit older levels or refight some bosses. Pyro Moons have now been changed into stars. Anyone here remember the wing cap level in Super Mario 64 and how to enter it? Well, if you do the same here, you'll be rewarded with a star. You can revisit the courtyard, and the statue in the middle has the original L is real sign on it from Super Mario 64. I thought that was such a really cool throwback and a nod to Mario 64, as there was a lot of speculation around L is real. And if you spin your cap on it, you will again be rewarded with another star. On the roof of the castle, you can find Yoshi just like in Super Mario 64. However, this time you don't need all the stars to find him, and you won't get rewarded with the extra 99 lives. This time, you'll actually be able to play as Yoshi. There are coins under the bridge, just like in Super Mario 64. Near the little forest area, you can find some mushrooms that look like 1-ups or the giant mushroom from New Super Mario Bros. On the DS. After collecting 999 moons, something a little special will happen. And if you jump on the globe, you can hear a couple familiar tunes. Throughout Odyssey, you can find stray dogs who can help you find items like coins and moons, but they can also play fetch, and even take naps with you. Aw, it's so cute. The penguins in Snow Kingdom fly away as Mario gets closer to them. It's probably because they have PTSD from Super Mario 64. No, but the real reason we are here is because if Mario dozes off and falls asleep, various birds such as the penguins will land on Mario's nose and hang out while he sleeps. When Mario collects different or specific moons, his hand signs will be slightly different. This is actually referencing past Mario games. One of those being, Super Mario Galaxy's Grand Star animation is very similar to the Triple Moon Get. The first few we are going to find are right in the title screen. Did you know that there's a few different versions of the title screen depending on the time of day? There's also an extra one after unlocking Rosalina. The roster in Super Mario 3D World is the same as the North American version of Super Mario Bros. 2, aside from Rosalina, which you can't even unlock until the end of the game. You can see the Comet Observatory in the background of the extended box art, hinting at Rosalina being in the game. Speaking of Rosalina, you can unlock the ability to play as her. It's during the second star level in Star World, which you unlock after beating the main game. This level is called Super Galaxy. It's an obvious reference to Super Mario Galaxy. During the level, you can see the Comet Observatory in the background, a few enemies from Super Mario Galaxy, and the music is right from Super Mario Galaxy as well. Oh, and hey, if you guys don't mind, if you find these kind of videos interesting, can you hit the subscribe button? 95% of the people who watch my content are not subscribed to me. So, if you enjoy my content, why not just hit the subscribe button? It really helps me out. Well, with all that being said, let's jump right back into some secrets and Easter eggs. In World 3-6, you pretty much just race to the end of the flagpole, but the barriers on the sides and the music that plays is a direct reference to the Mario Kart games. There are a ton of hidden Luigis around this game. I'll show you the location of a few, but I'll leave the rest up to you guys to find. Let me know how many you guys have found in the comments down below. You may be wondering why exactly are there hidden Luigis everywhere? Why not hidden Marios? Well, because 2013, the year that this game originally came out on the Wii U, that was the year of Luigi, a commemoration of the 30th anniversary of Luigi's debut in Mario Bros. In World 1-2, about halfway through the level, you can ride the clouds up above the screen to find a golden warp pipe. This is a reference to the level skip in World 1-2 from the original Super Mario Bros. On the NES. Golden pipes will bring you to minigames with many coins. This may be a reference to the new Super Mario Bros. 2 on the Nintendo DS. Super Luigi Bros. Appears in the title screen after beating the game, but if you don't want to play through the whole game, you can unlock it early if you have a save file of New Super Luigi U on your Wii U. I'm not sure if this is the same case with the Switch version though. While you're in Star World, Take a look under the level to spot some star bits from Mario Galaxy floating around. You can get 5 stars on your save profile in Super Mario 3D World. To get each star, complete the following challenges. Beat Worlds 1 through 8, get every green star in Worlds 1 through World Flower, beat World Star, World Mushroom, and World Flower, get every green star in the game, get every green star, gold flagpole, and stamp. And to get all of the stamps, you must beat every world with every character, including the newly unlocked Rosalina. That's about all the secrets and Easter eggs in Super Mario 3D World. However, we still have Bowser as a furry, the newest addition to the Mario universe. It's a very interesting addition too, as they really made Bowser and Mario both gigantic furries. So, to start off this section of the video, just like in Mario 3D World, you can also get 5 save profile stars for Bowser's furry. This is how to do them. The first one is to defeat Bowser Jr. once using the Lakeside Giga Bell, defeat Furry Bowser twice using the Ruins Giga Bell, defeat Furry Bowser 3 times using the Wasteland Giga Bell, collect all 100 cat shines, defeat Furry Bowser a 4th time after collecting all 100 cat shines. During the intro scene, you can see a Mario Sunshine M made by Bowser Jr. This is obviously a reference to Mario Sunshine. I'm going to have my own little reference, and a lot of other people have talked about this before. I'm not claiming this to really be my own, but it's just something I wanted to add in anyways. You can take the blue cat and bring him off to the cliff and drop him off like you did in Super Mario 64 with the baby penguin. Bully the Cat Bullies is a reference to one of Mario 64's stars, Bully the Bullies. Bowser Jr. will actually get sad when Mario dies, even though they have been arch rivals for years. People say the hieroglyphs depict the events of Mario becoming Giga Mario and taking down Furry Bowser, but I don't know. I don't really think so, but I mean, hey, if you want to think that, go right ahead. Furry Bowser kind of looks like Giga Bowser from Super Smash Bros. The Lucky Bell turns Mario into, well, Lucky Mario. It is a reference to lucky cat figures and statues throughout Asian culture. You can also find some very well hidden golden pipes in Bowser's Fury. Again, these may be referencing New Super Mario Bros. 2 and its golden coin theme. People like to say Furry Luigi is a reference to Gooigi from Luigi's Mansion. However, I don't think it is. I think Furry Luigi is his own entity. I mean, come on, he's a furry. The cat shines are a reference to shine sprites from Super Mario Sunshine. However, when collecting one, Mario does the same exact animation as he would in Mario Odyssey. After collecting all 100 cat shines and taking down Bowser one last time, you will finally be able to see Bowser Jr.'s painting at the end of the game. However, that's not all. Mario will now wear his Giga suit at a normal size, and Bowser Jr. will now also have a new cat look. And, well, we can't forget about Plessie, right? Plessie has a new look too. But that's not the only final touch to Plessie. What most people don't know is that now the baby cats will ride on Plessie's back. And that's about it. If I happen to miss any secrets and Easter eggs, please let me know down below in the comments. And hey, is anyone actually here still watching this whole thing? If so, leave a comment of the word Jotaro or Jotaro with your Twitter or Discord down below, and I may have a gift for you. Well, with all that being said, I hope you all have a wonderful day today.